episode 133.
Are you ready to take your eBay business to the next level? Then hold on, because Ron and Ali are going to take you into the fast lane with the latest tips and insights from some of the biggest and most successful sellers here on the So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast.
Welcome once again to another episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. I'm Ron LeBeau.
And I'm Ali Young.
Hey, everyone. We have with us Peggy Losey. How you doing today, Peggy?
I'm doing awesome. How about you?
I'm doing pretty okay here in St. Louis. It's cold, but not too bad. How you doing over in Thailand, Ali?
Yes, loving it. Thanks for joining us, Peggy. It's going to be great.
Thank you. It's a bit snowy and chilly here in Detroit, Michigan, too.
All right, let's not talk about cold. We can't do cold on this show. It made me get all goosebumpy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Ali gets cold at 70-degree weather here, so we can't talk to him about
I don't
cold,
like skiing to work. There's something not right about that.
Oh.
Right. So Peggy, a.k.a. Fleahopper, loves to travel, loves to flee, and loves to sell on eBay to fund her passion. When her daughter moved to Germany, Peggy used that event to springboard a lifestyle into international travel picking. Fleahopper invites you to join in on the fun.
Oh, man, I want an AKA name. How do I get one? You got such a cool one, AKA Fleahopper.
We have one for you, Ali, but we can't. This is a family show.
All right. Oh, you've got one of you. Thanks, Ron. I hope it's a nice, friendly one. So, AKA Fleahopper, let's talk about it. What's with the name? Did you have an addiction with fleas when you were a child?
No. Actually, my addiction is flea markets.
Oh.
And as I mentioned in the brief intro there, my daughter moved to Germany, oh my goodness, over 17 years ago now. And when she moved over there, of course, I was the sad expat mom, and who my daughter moved across the world, and I'm never going to see her again. Well, little did I know that was going to open up the most amazing opportunity for both of us.
Wow.
And actually become a venue for me to live I live out my passion of going to flea markets in a very unique way. And over the years that she's been there, her and I and my husband have been to flea markets in over 9 European countries now.
Cool.
Wow. Didn't know it was an international thing, or maybe it wasn't until you started it. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's Fleahopper. We hop across the pond to go to flea markets around the world.
So just for the people who maybe aren't American, so what's the difference between thrifting and a flea market? And what's the difference? Is it like an indoor and outdoor thing?
Semantics. It's pretty much. Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Some flea markets are indoors, some are outdoors. I have found, except most recently this past summer, that our garage sale culture that we have here in the U.S. Is really a flea market culture over in Europe. And actually, I have found a quote-unquote garage sale advertised as such, one in Denmark, when I visited our former foreign exchange student, and then one this summer when I was in Bavaria visiting my daughter. So
nice.
it's trickling down, but mostly a cultural thing.
So here's what I want to know. How are you getting from point A to point B in these different countries, and what are you doing with all the stuff that you find at these flea markets?
Well, and here comes eBay. I've been eBaying, and actually it's kind of funny. I've had it on my eBay business cards for probably 15 years now, since before it was cool. And then after Heidi moved, her name's Heidi, yes, she lives in Germany. After she moved over to Germany, then we just ramped up our eBay efforts, and we use the profits from eBay to fund our travels.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and then every time we go a new place, we increase our network of friends and colleagues, and many places we go, we stay in the homes of folks. I love to stay in very small B&Bs. I love the local culture rather than the big we've been to the big ones in Paris. There's an awesome one in Munich in the spring, the Frühlingsfest. It's actually a mini Oktoberfest for those of you who like beer. But attached to the fair, there's the beer tents are attached to a big fairground area that's acres and acres and acres of a flea market. And the reason I like that one as a big flea market is it's the common folk. It's the people that live there. There are some professional vendors there, but for the most part, it's just people, from the neighborhoods, kind of near and far neighborhoods, that just bring their stuff to sell.
Wow.
I would say you're the first person we've had on the show that actually does eBay internationally like that. So you're in Germany, you're buying all this stuff from the flea market, you then list it on eBay from Germany. Is that the way? And then you just carry on moving around the world to your next crazy destination?
No, believe it or not, I carry home what I can to list. And because both my daughter and I, we kind of go back and forth, at least probably 4 times a year between the two of us, we just carry it, bring it in our carry-on or our suitcases. The most fun and the largest thing that I've brought home was an antique baby mannequin that I wrapped in bubble. Yeah, I wrapped her in bubble wrap and carried her in a duffel bag as my carry-on.
Oh my goodness!
She was actually purchased. Yeah, she was purchased by the prop set people for the movie Leatherheads. And
wow!
I'm told that she's in a window scene somewhere. I've never seen her, but it's a great story. It was a fun experience, and I loved carrying her around the flea market with no clothes on. I mean, she didn't have any clothes on.
What kind of looks did you get in the airport when TSA or wherever they call it over there, ran that through the X-ray machine?
Well, it was No, it wasn't. It was post 9/11 because my first visit over there was a week after 9/11. But it was very, very early in all the TSA checks. And I just put it on there and I smiled and I just said, it's a doll. And they laughed.
So, Peggy, you have taken eBay to a whole different dimension, right? I mean, with what you're doing now, and you might even see your daughter more now than when she was here in the States, the way you travel, it sounds like.
Well, that's one of the things that we have talked about is that because we make the most of the time that we do have, I think that you're absolutely correct. When I spent the entire month of August over there, oh man, did I go to a lot of flea markets then. You can find that. Can I plug my blog? You can find those adventures on my blog.
Plug anything you want.
And guess what the name of my blog is?
Oh, let's wonder. It's not got something to do with fleas, is it?
Fleahopper.com.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, you said you got that name trademarked, right?
Yeah, I do. I really try to brand it. And it's just something that it's a vision that I had. And I had an amazing artist who created my logo with the big old Fleahopper on it. That's anyway, it's my passion. It's my lifestyle. It's taken out a
It's you. That's what it is. It's you. I mean, you've not only given it a name, you've incorporated it, going around the world doing it. I mean, it's you. You are the AKA Fleahopper. I'm looking at, like I mentioned before we started recording, I'm looking at Papa Smurf Halloween costume. I've got to get myself one of those things. The kids would love it.
It's all yours.
Yeah, I know, but you look at it. I mean, it's great. Where do you even... I mean, just traveling around, you get some weird stuff. Do you find that the international, like Germany type flea markets, they have sort of different stuff than maybe the sort of the American type flea markets? Or is it all pretty much the same stuff?
I am just like about 2 weeks away from publishing a book about flea hopping. And that's one of the things that I say in there. And I took this most awesome picture at a flea market in Bavaria this summer. It was an entire vendor that was nothing but Tupperware. Everybody, and I mean every old Tupperware lid or container or glass or whatever that you can imagine was ever made was in this particular booth. And like I said in my book, you know, the more I travel, the more I find out how much more alike we are than different. And every woman in the world has mismatched Tupperware lids and bowls in her kitchen cupboard.
Honey, you hear that? You're not alone. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, we've talked about the biggest thing you've sold or found and sold, but what is the oddest thing that you've found, whether it's here or overseas, that you found and sold?
I once bought, you know, and I don't know what the real name of them is, and it was been several years ago. You know those bleached antelope skulls?
What?
Yeah.
This is awesome. It was great. It was a great big one, and I found it at a garage sale. I think I paid like $5 for it, and I put it on eBay. Well, this guy from Amsterdam bought the thing, and I'm like, this dude is not going to believe it, but it was exactly the timing for our trip. We've been to Amsterdam for King's Day several times because of the flea marketing there. And I wrote to this guy, and I said, if you can wait 2 weeks, I can hand carry this thing to Amsterdam, and you won't have to pay shipping. So I wrapped it up in bubble wrap and put it in a box. And we took the box as one of our carry-on because we get 2 with our frequent flyer status. And we carried it over there as one of our suitcases. And the guy didn't have to pay any shipping. Plus, he paid me in euro instead of in US dollars. That was before all the stuff where you had to pay, you know, and deliver within certain days.
Bet you got good feedback on that one.
He was thrilled. He was thrilled.
I mean, seriously, you are changing the dimension of everything you do. You actually go overseas to get the stuff, and then while you're there, you hand deliver the stuff. I mean, who can compete with you, Fleahopper?
You know, the biggest challenge I have is finding the time to get it all listed.
Yeah.
Seriously, when I just came home from...
Well, if you'd quit hand delivering it, you'd have some time.
Stop traveling the world.
Never.
We're not going to feel sorry for you. You know, I mean, seriously, you spend half your life in the air.
I do. You know what, though? It's unbelievably affordable. I mean, it's I never, ever, ever would have dreamed that, because I come from a middle-class family, from Depression-era parents, and live in Detroit, Michigan, the motor capital of the world. That's up and down with the economy, and I mean, we are just as middle class as you can get. But like I said, we've just found ways to make it affordable by networking with friends. So really, all we pay for is our airfare.
Yep.
And I'm just going to plug another one of my very, very favorite places to find my airfare, and that's scottscheapflights.com. I don't know if anybody's aware of that.
I'm writing it down because I've been trying to get to Thailand.
Oh my goodness! Seriously, for I think it might be $36 this year, for 1 year membership or whatever you want to call it. You pay it 1 year, one time a year, and you put in there your departure airports. Okay, so I put in Detroit and I put in Munich, and then anytime that there's an airfare that is, significantly below what it usually is, they send you an alert. As a matter of fact, when I was in Germany at Heidi's at Christmas time, I got an alert. I was on my computer in one room. She was on a computer in another room. And I said, oh my gosh, Heidi, get on your computer. Go buy these tickets right now. We were able to get round trip, nonstop airfare to and from Munich to Detroit for €500.
Wow, that's a good price.
That's an amazing. That's one in August.
Did you have to fly? Did you have to fly the plane as well? Did you?
No. I paddle, flap.
Yeah, Flintstones.
For the U.S. dollar speaking people, how many is €500?
About maybe $625.
Round trip?
Round trip, nonstop.
Sticky rice and chicken head.
but you have to be like when that thing popped up, I got online And I told her to get online immediately. And because sometimes they don't last long at all. Sometimes they're mistake fairs. This was not a mistake fair. I mean, honestly, I think the reason that they did this was because it was the week before Christmas. People weren't buying airfare for August, and they wanted to start filling the planes up. I don't know, but it was.
You got to be pretty much ready to go when you put that request in, right?
Right. You pull the trigger. Yeah. When you see it, you better be ready to buy.
Wow, that's pretty cool, though.
Yeah, it is. It really, and I mean, that's kind of how we schedule our trips. Is when we can. I almost never fly during peak season. I do a lot of spring and fall. Although I did go over in August, this year it was a little bit more expensive. Cost me more than what I usually spend. But anyway, once I get over there, it's because of networking with friends and like I said, I originally started in small B&Bs. People find out what you like to do, and they invite you to their homes, and it's just very affordable.
It's beautiful, isn't it? And especially when you're in Europe, it's so easy to get from one European country to the next. So it's very easy to do.
Ron and Ali will be right back after this short break.
So, you have an idea, a big idea, and you're ready to jump into the world of e-commerce. Awesome. But where to start? The answer is only a click away. At solutionsforecommerce.com, you'll find available services to help manage, audit, or even build your e-commerce site from the ground up. With over 10 years of experience in developing and managing channels on sites like Amazon, eBay, Shopify, and Etsy, Solutions for E-commerce can help you to grow your small or large business. Take a step back from the technical and do what you do best, and let Solutions for E-commerce handle the tedious stuff like creating, reviewing, adding, or removing listings, setting up or organizing store categories, even merchandising and customer support. Find out why their clients say that their business wouldn't be what it is today without the help from Solutions for E-commerce. Visit solutionsforecommerce.com and take your e-commerce business to the next level. That's solutions, the number 4, ecommerce.com. Use promo code eBay at checkout for an exclusive So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast discount. Life is full of numbers. Our brains process literally hundreds of numbers and equations every hour of every day. When it comes to your business, give your brain a break as well as peace of mind that the numbers are figuring up as they should with MyCost Pro. MyCost Pro is an easy-to-use automated eBay bookkeeping program for Excel that imports sales data directly from your seller account. MyCost Pro automatically generates accounting and performance reports to show you your true bottom-line profit. You can even view and edit active listing details such as price and quantity, and relist unsold items directly from MyCost Pro. All you need is Excel on your Windows PC. Take control of your business and free up those long nights of crunching the numbers. Visit mycostpro.com for a 21-day no-obligation free trial using coupon code PODCAST, exclusively for So You Want to Sell on eBay podcast listeners.
Be sure to check out So You Want to Sell on eBay.com for the latest podcasts and all the information you need to get selling fast.
So you are an international eBay seller. So is there anything that you wouldn't sell? Are you like, clothing you don't mind, cosmetics don't mind? Would you go to the dog food level?
I've never sold food. I'm not above selling food. I have found though that I have a niche market. I do very, very well with women's extra large and bigger clothing.
Yep.
I recently found amazing small shops over in the small city, the small villages around my daughter's, where I can buy German vintage Christmas.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, I loaded up 2 suitcases with that in August, and my trip over here that I just took in December. And then the other thing, I like anything vintage. And so I have tried selling some of the BOLO, the Be on the Lookout things for.
Yep.
But I found that, and this is just my experience, that a lot of times when those are revealed, that kind of gets saturated, and then you end up with a whole lot more inventory than you could ever conceivably sell or make any money on.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, the price goes down because everybody's selling it.
Right. So I've kind of throttled back, and I'm really sticking to I've done really, really well with the vintage Christmas. And I have about 20 very fun, weird, wacky, vintage animated Christmas that I'm going to be listing. The only reason I haven't listed those yet is I want to be able to embed the video. And right now, it's just the time that it takes for me to learn how to embed the video. I haven't taken that. So I'm phasing out of my corporate America life. And hopefully, here in the near future, I'm going to be able to dedicate 100% to eBay.
That's really cool. I'm really I know you've got a lot of different categories on your eBay store here, but I'm not finding a single beer stein.
Well, that's interesting. Mostly because most of them are on the wall in our den.
Ah, okay. Yeah, they're not for sale. That's what it is.
And and again, a difference between our two cultures is they're not revered here the way that they are over in Germany.
Right.
And I've got more room. I mean, they're heavy.
Well, true. Good point.
So where do you see yourself in the future? And you just mentioned you're going to leave corporate job. You're going to be maybe doing this full time, or you're going to get some more employees so that you could travel more, and they'll do all the selling stuff in America. Where do you see yourself?
I don't think so. I've talked about it with my husband, and I'm not out to volume sell.
Right.
My whole goal is to make enough money to do the type of travel that I want, so that we can visit my daughter and her husband and their twin sons. And in doing so, like we always will, not always, but many times we will pair a holiday over in Europe with a trip over there. And that's our goal, is to be able to continue that lifestyle that we have learned to love over the last 17 years. We went to Tuscany last summer, and like I said, we've been to Paris, we've been to Amsterdam, we've been to Spain and Denmark, and it's
a good lifestyle.
Let me make a hard right turn in this conversation. And how did Heidi get to Germany? What got her to Germany, and what's kept her there?
She met a German citizen in our living room during
of course,
while selling a jumper.
A cultural exchange, or a wrestling team from Germany came over during a cultural exchange. Okay. And they met, and that was rest is history. He's a Bavarian tax auditor. He works for the Bavarian government. Has one of those jobs that's a job for life. And she was a teacher here in the U.S., and they decided that it was probably the more secure to stay with his life job and move over there. That's how it happened.
Very cool. Plus, it gives you the opportunity to change your entire world, right? I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
I never, ever would have dreamed of a life doing this.
And I'm sure when it happened, it was probably really, really tough on you and thinking, oh my gosh, what are you doing? What are you doing? And now look where you're at. Is that correct or no?
It was amazingly traumatic for me. But,
yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, it was like, yeah, I know she's our only daughter and this, that, and the other, but you got to give them wings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Gotta let them fly.
It took me a long time to get to this point, but now we just share such a unique journey that it's, and I mean, there's just a whole lot more to it. They ended up adopting 2 little boys that were temporarily placed in, right time, right place, right karma, right whatever.
Everything just works out, doesn't it?
Yep, absolutely.
So what are you using for like tools to maintain your business then? Because a lot of people struggle with like sort of managing stuff and things like that. So how do you keep everything so you know what's what, where during out?
if you could see my basement.
Alrighty then. Next question. So,
I mean, it's just, and that's one of the reasons that I keep it small. We keep it small is because God love my husband. When I am abroad, he mans the store, and so far there's only been 2 things that he's not been able to find, and sometimes it takes getting on Skype and saying, take the computer downstairs and I'll show you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is crazy, man. I mean, it sounds like you got a really cool story. I mean, you do have a really cool story here. One that you couldn't have written just 17 years ago, right?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And that's the great thing about eBay, isn't it? I mean, we've interviewed so many different types of people, and it just gives them the freedom to live life how they want to live. I mean, someone like you don't have to be a computer genius. Sure, there's things you have to know how to upload and stuff like that, and then you get to travel the world. Isn't that brilliant?
Oh, I can't imagine doing anything different now.
Yep.
You know, and even when I've been in the medical field my entire corporate career, and I say corporate America. I'm just right now. I'm a senior quality program consultant in the healthcare IT world, and even doing 19 years of clinical orthopedic work, I was able to convince my bosses that I needed no less than 3 2-week vacations a year, which is how I did it when I was not an independent consultant. So
wow.
Yeah. I've just like, well, you know what? You want me to stay? That's what I need. And I was blessed that they went along with it as long as they did. So.
You and I need to have that conversation. I need to scope out the gist of that transcript there to find out how I can get 3 2-week vacations. I have to beg for a day.
Yeah, I hear you. Isn't that sad?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but again, that's even more reason to get into this entrepreneurism world.
Yep.
So I see that you're using like best offers on some of your products and free shipping on some of your products. So how do you sort of work all that out? Do you?
Well, I start with, if I have this personal goal that I want to make 5 times what I buy for something. I mean, that's just my. I can make more. I've made a lot more than that. I mean, I had this one really, really insane purchase this summer. Remember that? Allie, you might not, but back in the day when we used to have those brush rollers that we would curl our hair with. They were metal and they had pokey Okay, anyway, I found one of those at a garage sale around where I live. Brand new, never been opened, and it was in the shape that a person could make French roll hairstyle. And I bought it for $1. And I'm like, I'm going out on a limb, and I'm like, I'm going to charge an exorbitant amount of money for this. I haven't seen one of those since the 60s. And so I put that thing up for $89.
And sold it?
And I sold it.
Wow.
It was not best offer, nothing. If you look through my feedback, you will see down there the lady left me positive feedback, and she went, crazy expensive, but I knew that when I bought it. And I'm thinking,
tell me you gave her free shipping.
I did.
Yeah. I mean, you got to sleep at night, right?
Yeah, that's it.
But, on the same token, just yesterday, I got a really, really nice lot of men's wool sweaters, brand new, again, at a local garage sale around the area of Detroit that I live here. And when the guy got it, he wore it for a couple days. He said he loved the color, fit like a charm, but there are a couple of small moth holes in it that I absolutely did not see. And so I just totally refunded him 100%. I mean, that's my bad for not being able to see that. I lost money on that, but that's all in the,
that's the game.
Realm of excellent customer service.
Yeah,
so
that's all part
it's the right thing to do. It's just the right thing to do. So
you might lose.
I'm all over the board with my strategies and my prices. And like I said, I am going to start filtering back down to my 3 niches. unless I find something that I know.
I'm up to the fourth niche. Jeez.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the thing. Well, sadly, we've run out of time here, Peggy. Oh, it's been brilliant. We got your story because it's just, again, another unique story. This is very different, this one, where you can travel around on the money that you're making from eBay, enjoying that life with your family and still buying stuff around Europe and wherever you're going. It's an inspiration to people, you know, just to get into this world. You got nothing to lose. There's really not much expenses involved with this. I mean, so thanks for joining us, Peggy. You've been absolutely awesome.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you again so much for the invitation.
No, definitely. We'll post all the notes, today's interview on our show notes page, which can be found at www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/show notes. Peggy, before you leave us, what's the best way people can get in contact? You mentioned your website, other stuff you've got going?
Yeah, the best way to get in touch with me is fleahopperthrift@gmail.com.
Okay, cool. And they can also go to Fleahopper for your eBay store and Fleahopper.com for your website, yeah?
That's correct.
You got one of those websites that's just easy to remember. You know, anything hard, my brain can't remember it, but something funky like Fleahopper, how can you forget it? AKA Fleahopper. So brilliant. Well, thanks again, Peggy. We've really enjoyed it. You can go over and check out our resources page. We put all the latest links that previous guests recommend. We put them up there so everybody can enjoy the fun and the madness. From everyone here at So You Want to Sell on eBay, I'm Ali Young.
And I'm Ron LeBeau.
That's all for this episode of So You Want to Sell on eBay. Be sure to check out our next episode or any past episodes by going online to soyouwannasellonebay.com. Also, be sure to follow us on your favorite social media sites, facebook.com/So You Want to Sell on eBay and Twitter @Your eBay Podcast. Thanks for listening. And until next time, happy selling.
Have an idea for a topic or know someone who would like to be on the show? Let us know. Just go to www.soyouwannasellonebay.com/interview. We look forward to hearing from you. This podcast was produced in part by Pro Voice Works.